What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Joshua from Ray's Reviews, and in today's video, in celebration of May the 4th be with you, May 4th, Star Wars Day or whatever, I'll be giving you my pitch to an original Star Wars story. For context, the reason why I wanted to do this was because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had Star Wars Celebration Japan, where we got a lot of Star Wars news in terms of The Mandalorian and Grogu, the Ryan Gosling Star Wars film, Star Wars Starfighter, some news for Ahsoka Season 2, a lot of interesting news, and a lot of exciting news that I am kind of excited for when it comes to Star Wars as a whole. So for this video, I thought, hey, let me just do my own type of pitch video that I have not done in a while, in almost a year. I think it's been almost a year since I've done a full-on pitch video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you chuck a like on this video and you hit subscribe so you won't miss another one of my videos. Tomorrow, by the time this video releases, it'll be May 4th. I would have probably already done reviews for Tales of the Underworld, so make sure you go check that out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So, first off, what would the title, well, before I talk about the title, where would this film theoretically take place in the Star Wars continuity? In my version, this story would take place during the High Republic era, so it would take place thousands of years before the events of the Skywalker saga, so before Episode 1, before any of that stuff takes place, just so that there's no continuity things, there's no ties to characters that will be in the future, nothing of that sort. This will be set in sometime during the New Republic era, thousands of years before the events of the Skywalker saga, and the title of this film would be Star Wars Targo's Wrath. Now, just a little logline of what this film would be about. A Zabrak and a Jedi apprentice must work together to locate the killer of the Zabrak's brother and the Jedi's master. Again, that's very much so a logline type thing. It's not very descriptive, very, very simple, very going. Now let's get into these characters a little bit more. The main characters, we would have two main characters. The first one being a Zabrak by the name of Targo Nar, and a Twi'lek, a Jedi apprentice, a Twi'lek by the name of Varay Brass. For those who aren't fully aware of, for those who aren't fully aware of like what the species are of these characters, a Zabrak is basically the species of Darth Maul, and a Twi'lek is the species of like Hera Syndulla from Star Wars Rebels. So imagine those species as those main characters. Targo and Varay, they would be our main two characters. Their dynamic would be very interesting. I will get into their dynamics soon. The main villain of this film would be a Claudite by the name of Zonat Vazuk. Claudites are basically shapeshifters. From what my research said, Claudites are essentially, like I said, shapeshifters. They can blend in with anyone, and there's a reason why I chose this type of villain to be the main antagonist for the story. Now let's get into the main plot of the story, which is basically Varay and her Jedi master Elrin are sent to Iridonia, which is the planet of the Zabraks, on a mission to assist the Macron clan, which is one of the many clans on Iridonia. But when a mysterious bomb goes off that kills both Elrin and the leader of the Macron clan, Kolash. Varay looks into the bombing and encounters who she at first thinks is the attacker, like the bomber, but realizes that it's not, and it's actually Targo, the little brother of Kolash's little brother. The pair learn that a Zabrak by the name of Drev Imvad, who they believe was a close friend of Kolash, was actually a Claudite named Zonat Vazuk. The pair would agree to work together to try to hunt down Zonat and bring him to justice, but in two very different ways. These two would have two very different definitions of justice. In Targo's mind, he wants to kill Zonat for what he did to his brother, and Varay wants to bring Zonat to justice by bringing him to the Jedi Council and face whatever punishment the Jedi Council wants to give them. And as I said earlier, their dynamic would be very interesting. The best way I would describe their dynamic, Targo and Varay's dynamic, is basically like Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso's dynamic in Cobra Kai, where it's like they both have two different fighting styles, and those fighting styles are different kind of belief systems, so to speak. So, and at times they would basically butt heads, and that would end up in fights. That would be the best way I would describe their dynamic, as Targo, along with many Zabraks, they don't necessarily believe in the Force or the Jedi and stuff. They believe in just fighting as a warrior, like a warrior's heart, so to speak. They believe in that. They don't really believe in the Force or the Jedi, even though in their species they have had encounters with some members of their species who have become Jedi and who are Force sensitive, while Varay, who is obviously being a Jedi, or more so a Jedi apprentice, she obviously believes in the Force. She believes in the Jedi's purpose of bringing order to the balance to the universe, to the galaxy, and their dynamic would be very interesting and very different to one another, as they both counteract each other's beliefs while also enforcing their beliefs at the same time. So to talk a little bit more about Zonat and why he did what he did, Zonat was hired to infiltrate the Macron clan by a mysterious benefactor to kill Kolosh and steal some sort of tech that Kolosh had received some time ago. And just judging by that, you just tell that Zonat, he really does not care about anyone. He is very abrasive, he is very cocky, and he's only in it for the money. He doesn't really care about anyone. He only really gives a crap about the money. And for this job, he happily accepted the job because he would be rewarded 1.5 million credits, which for him, that makes him a millionaire. He has a lot of money into his name, and that would also kind of get him off a few bad people's backs. That would get him off a few people's backs, as all types of gun smugglers and mercenaries are in the Star Wars universe. They always have someone that's kind of after them in some point of their lives. So throughout the whole film, once again, we would see Varay and Targo's dynamic be very different in how, in some instances, they would really work well together, in some instances they would not, purely because of their differing beliefs, and how they would kind of develop this hateful friendship to one another. And during the final battle, when Targo and Varay, they encounter Zonat for the final time, they fight him, they defeat him. The two of them, they begin to have their beliefs come to the front, and they begin to fight each other, as once again, they both have different beliefs or different ideas or definitions of what justice should be to Zonat. Targo going down the revenge route, wanting to just flat out kill Zonat for killing his brother, while Varay, she wants to just fully go into the Jedi Council and inform them and let the Jedi Council decide what the fate of Zonat should be. This would lead to both of them fighting each other, but it would in a way be kind of like an even fight, as even though Targo's weapons are basically no match for a Jedi lightsaber. And for clarity, his weapons include blasters, a vibro blade, and an energy whip. That really wouldn't do too much, because Varay's lightsaber would basically cut through all that. Varay is still an apprentice. She does not know. She's not fully skilled in fighting yet, because in my mind, she's only been an apprentice for about a few years. Like, she's only been an apprentice for about 3-4 years. So she hasn't learned everything that she can yet. So it would kind of be an even match to the pair. But in the end, this would end this fight would end with Varay winning, and yeah. So this final battle would end with them with Varay beating Targo, taking Zonat away, and Targo basically promising Varay that if he ever sees Varay again, he will very much so kill her, because Targo is in a way so full of anger and of him and Kolosh. Kolosh was always the more calmer brother, while Targo was always kind of like the one who always felt like he had to prove himself. And in this instance, he's just being he's clouded by anger, but in the way he understands why Varay did what she did, he still doesn't agree with it, and he says that the next time they meet, if they ever meet each other again, he won't hesitate to kill her if the time comes. So in our epilogue, we would see Targo being made the new leader of the Macron clan because of his devotion to avenging his brother. Varay would continue her training after delivering Zonat to the Jedi Council. She would continue her training while still kind of having that sort of disbelief, so to speak, of how her engagement with Targo went. And the Jedi Council would find out that Zonat's benefactor was someone who couldn't be detected by the Jedi, meaning that they are basically Force immune, which is something that the Jedi are very unaware of at this time. And this would basically tease to a bigger threat that I kind of wanted to do for a sequel for this film, basically teasing someone from the species known as the Yuzan Vong, who are in the Legends world. That's basically a species that is very immune. That's kind of immune to Force stuff, sort of, but they are still able to be attacked by Jedi. They're basically able to block themselves out from the Force, so the Jedi can't detect them. And during the Legends comics, like I think like during the High Republic era, they were very much so a dangerous species as they went on a war spree across the galaxy. So in my version, the way that I have it going for a sequel that I would 100% want to do. If you guys want me to, if you enjoyed me talking about this film, what I pitched for it, I will 100% make a second video to this where I pitch my version of a sequel to this, where the Yuzan Vong are the main villains. I would 100% do that. Make sure you check like on this video. Yeah, so basically, that would basically be a somewhat tease to what would happen in a sequel film where there's a bigger threat going on, and that whether these two characters like it or not, Varay and Targo, they will need to work together once again. So anyway, that was my pitch for Star Wars Targo's Wrath. I have not done a pitch video like this in a long time, so I hope you guys enjoyed this pitch. Like I said, if you guys want me to do a part 2 of this where I basically go into what I would do with a sequel, I will 100% gladly do it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this video. If you have any suggestions, if you have any more questions, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Joshua from Rage Reviews, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.